So now let's focus on applying the knowledge we have learned before in the previous workshops. And we're going to use the MIT Martin Trust Center Jetpack AI tool for this. And you will see you will get amazing results in a very short time frame. So let's start with that website here. You can always check that out on orbit.mit.edu. And what you do is you're going to go to that field here and you're going to enter your idea. I already prepared something, so it's AI related. So let's say a physics-informed neural network powered platform optimizing supply chains using weather data. So let's see if you hit enter. So you can either choose the discipline entrepreneurship, the 24 steps, or startup tactics. In our case, it makes more sense to focus on discipline entrepreneurship. So as you can see here, those are all the 24 steps. And the first step, as we discussed as well, is market segmentation. So you can see the tool already puts your idea here, and within seconds, you get a market segmentation overview. So it provides you several markets it thinks are useful for your idea, and it ranks them based on characteristics like end user, task, benefit, urgency of need, and so on and so on. And you can see the information you get within a couple of seconds is something you usually would spend at least a couple of weeks or not at least months doing research on that particular field. So this is a very useful tool, so feel free to check it out there. So what we're going to do next is we see all those markets and we're going to say, okay, look, I'm very interested in logistics and supply chain management. So you can copy this here and just save it here. So the tool right now knows you're going to focus on that particular segment. So you're going to go just one step back and you go into beachhead market. And you can see it has overtaken your choice. It has overtaken logistics and supply chain management. And what it does, and this is the amazing element of this tool, it used your input, and based on your input, it has created several subsegments which are potential beachhead market for you. These beachhead markets, then, they're ranked based on certain criteria. We have already discussed the 8 criteria before. So is the target customer well-funded? Is the target customer accessible to your sales force? Is there a compelling reason to buy? And so on and so on. We have discussed this before, but as you can see, again here, you get a lot of information as well as ranking, which would be very hard to get in real world, or you at least have to do, like I mentioned before, weeks or not at least months of research to get this information. So it even gives you a ranking here. So it says, for example, that the retail supply chains are the most attractive market. For example, automotive supply chains are the second most attractive market here. So let's say you disagree with the tool based on your primary market research, and you're going to say, no, I'm going to go with the automotive supply chains. So you copy it again, and you put it in here, and you click again on save. So the tool now knows you want to focus on automotive supply chains. So what it does right now here, if you go to the next step, which we discussed, which was end user profile, you see also here now it saved your choices, and it gives you the end user profile, first a written description, but then you can see it's very much for the automotive industry. So it takes your input and it converts it into practical insights. And now look, we discussed demographics, psychographics, proxy products, the watering holes where those potential end users meet, day in the life, and priorities. We all discussed that in the workshop, but you can see again here, you get that information very quickly. You get the economic buyer profile, which we also briefly touched, and the same goes for your, let's jump here to the persona. You can see it loads your information, and it goes right away into the persona. So here it ranks and it creates a profile here. So within a couple of minutes, you have a great overview of information you can tap into. So make sure and use this tool when you do your market segmentation analysis. So you can see there is a very reasonable persona coming out here, which is very likely to be a potential customer of yours. So with that said, let's jump into the next point we had, which was the beachhead TAM size. So as we discussed, TAM is really important, not just for yourself, but also for investors. So that is the amazing part here. So you can see the first segmentation based on and the second segmentation based on, and you can see that there are about total number of end users in the broad market segment, about 10,000. In a sub-segment of your beachhead markets, 3,500. We talked about the annual monetizable revenue per end user, which would be 5,000 in this case. And this is, so first of all, a top-down analysis. But as we discussed, it makes more sense to focus on a bottom-up TAM analysis, and that's also done over here. So you can just really easy use those information and take it into your internal analysis. In case you haven't understand some of the things covered here, there are still some videos here you can take a look at. There's a matrix you can even download if you want to. And there's some general information about that segment here. So this tool provides a really good overview. So you can see this was the TAM exercise. So let's just go back and focus on the last part, which we had, which is the TAM for the follow-on markets. So which is step here. And this is also, we discussed before in the lectures, so you can see what are potential follow-on markets, what is their estimated TAM here. So you can see it's 200 million, so that's larger than your initial market segment, which should be around 50 to 150 million. So you can see it's getting larger and larger. And we discussed about that. We discussed upselling opportunities. We discussed adjacent markets. So this is something you can really take into consideration when you do your analysis of your follow-on TAM markets. And it even breaks it down further. For all of the follow-on markets is suggested here, it gives you a more detailed analysis here. So with that said, this is a short demo on how you can do a market segmentation. So you can do it manually. You can do the primary market research, which you should do. So always use that kind of information you can get with the AI tools, but just make sure you verify those information by really speaking to actual customers and verifying and validating those information. I think this could be a very useful tool for you, so check it out. And I really hope this will help your startup formation. And I wish you all of the best with your startup in the next couple of weeks, months, and years.